Sunrise. September is Polycystic Ovarian Syndrome Awareness Month, PCOS month, and this is a common hormonal condition that affects 1 in 10 women of reproductive age, which usually starts around or during adolescence, but symptoms may fluctuate over time. Today, we highlight all things PCOS, and we're joined by health coach and nutritionist, Dr. Kimberly Somerville, obstetrician gynecologist OBGYN Dr. Astrid Batchelor, and founder of PCOS Talk JA Olivia Marie, to help us understand this condition that affects so many of us, and so many of us don't even realize or know. So good morning, ladies.
Morning, ladies.
Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
I want to start off with, what is PCOS? That is the first thing. Who wants to take it? Let's go, Doc.
Yeah,
Doc?
let's
And you actually did a very good introduction, TK. So it's a very common hormonal and metabolic disorder, affecting about 10 to 15% of women. So someone we know has PCOS. And it can cause hormonal issues as well as metabolic issues. The main thing with PCOS is that there is an overproduction of insulin in our bodies in women who are affected by it, which in turn causes our ovaries to produce excess male hormones. We call these androgens, like testosterone. And because of this overproduction of testosterone and male hormones, it can lead to a myriad of symptoms in women who are affected by the disorder. Most common symptom is going to be irregular periods. So a lot of women will complain of menstrual irregularities, or they're not seeing the period for long times.
Right.
Another thing that can happen because of this excess male hormone is the physical features that may come about because of PCOS, like the excess hair on the face, on the chest, on the abdomen. Some women complain of thinning hair on their heads, oily skin, acne to the face. It's hormonal acne term that people like to use. Right. So the acne on the face, the chest, the back. There is infertility as a consequence in some women who are affected by polycystic ovarian syndrome, and weight gain. Some persons complain that they're putting on weight, they don't know why, they haven't really changed their lifestyle, and this weight may be hard to lose.
Speaking of the weight gain and the physical aspect of it, well, what we can see then, I'm going to throw this one to you, Doc. As a nutritionist, how does one manage what we consume to help with what happens with the hormones and the imbalance that is happening, not necessarily because we want to lose weight, but to manage those hormones?
Okay, so as Doc was saying, that is an overproduction of insulin. That's really one of the main causes of PCOS. So insulin, we know usually around diabetics, diabetics probably have to take insulin. But all of us produce insulin, and that helps to break down the sugars. So if you want to essentially lower the amount of sugar you're having most of the time, it's kind of difficult for us because, we love sugar. But
Jamaican diet.
Exactly. So, we have our dumpling, we have a lot of rice, but things like even yam, banana,
mango
cassava,
season.
I know, and even breadfruit. These are really good complex carbohydrates, so they take a longer time to break down, and that's helpful for our insulin, right? So you want to reduce also sugars in terms of juices too. We consider juices to be really healthy because, they have vitamins, but they do have a lot of sugars. So probably go down by diluting your juice a little bit, reducing your soda, and when you do that, have more water, coconut water, as we have a lot here. And then I would also say to increase protein, because protein for us is mainly chicken, fish, tuna, mackerel, sardine. We can get it, as well as in our beans like red peas and gungo peas. These help to slow down the digestion of our meals, and that helps to reduce our symptoms over time once done consistently.
So we've been talking about PCOS as theory, but Olivia, this has been an experience for you. You discovered that you had PCOS in high school, or you just have had it since high school? Tell us about that journey of finding out and what you've done since.
I think looking back, my symptoms started in high school, but I did not know what PCOS was at the time. So in high school, I started to gain a lot of weight around the time of CSEC when, things got really stressful. And over time, the symptoms that we've discussed started to manifest. So it was the weight gain and the difficulty to lose weight. Not much had changed. I wasn't eating any differently. And then I started to have other symptoms like the acne. And so doctors put me on birth control, like hormonal birth control, the pill. And that caused me, like in my 20s, to have like really severe depression. And my mother got really worried. She was like, you're not yourself, you need to get it checked out. So I had gone to the doctor and I said, I think I have PCOS because, of course, we go on Dr. Google and you look up the symptoms.
Hey.
And you're like, oh, okay. So I went to my GP and I said, I think I have PCOS because I have this, this, and that. What are the tests that I need to do to confirm that I have PCOS? So we did an ultrasound and he did blood work to check my hormone levels. And when they came back, he was like, one of them is a little bit off, but it's nothing to worry about. But the symptoms kept getting worse. And so that's when my mother said, no, man, go to a gynecologist and try to get a referral to an endocrinologist based on, you know, my research. And so I went to a gynecologist, he did an ultrasound there, and he's like, I don't even need to do a lot of these diagnostics. Like, I don't even have to do the hormone. You have all of the physical symptoms, like the shape, the roundness of the face, the sideburns I had here on my tummy, you know, and he's like, you carry a lot of weight in your midsection. So he did do the ultrasound and sent me for blood work, and he confirmed that I do have PCOS because there were, you know, cysts on my ovaries, which not everybody with PCOS has, but I had a lot of the physical symptoms without even doing the blood work.
Let me ask you, how did it feel knowing that you knew in your heart that something was off, but maybe you felt like you had to question your own intuition based on a professional's opinion?
I mean, when I got home, I can tell you, I felt vindicated, but I also cried because I was like, I knew it. Like, you know something is off, and then the internet is saying, but so I felt, okay, great, now I know what it is.
At least
but
now
also,
you know. Now you know.
Right,
That was important. And kudos to mommy for fighting and saying, no, we're going to a gynecologist. But we're going to take, I want to hear more, but we're going to take a quick break. It's time for a short break, and when we return, we'll continue our discussion with our very special guests on all things PCOS and understanding the cause, the impact, the control methods, everything. Stay with us.
All right, thanks so much for staying with us and welcome back to Sunrise. So we're still here discussing all things PCOS with health coach and nutritionist, Dr. Kimberly Somerville, obstetrician and gynecologist, OBGYN, Dr. Astrid Batchelor, and founder of PCOS Talk JA, Olivia Marie. All right, ladies, so let's pick up from where we were.
I had a question. You know, we hear so much about PCOS now, of late, and all these things. But is there a cure, Dr. Batchelor? Can we cure it, treat it, get rid of it, be done with it? How does that work?
So PCOS is a lifelong condition. It's basically a chronic illness. So unfortunately, there is no cure, but it can be well managed. So with the right treatments, the right team of professionals, a gynecologist like myself, a health coach like Dr. Somerville, it can be well managed, and you can get on the right treatment that's correct for you, that can help you with the symptoms that you're experiencing and help you with the goals that you want to achieve. So for instance, if you're having the irregular periods, we can get the irregular periods under control. If you're having issues with the weight gain, we can help you with that. If you're trying to get pregnant, we have treatments that can help you to get pregnant. So you're really going to have to be on the right mix of lifestyle changes as well as medications. And of course, there are other treatments and procedures that we can do to help.
I have to ask Dr. Kim, and it's not that I'm a conspiracy theorist, but I'm just wondering, right? We live in a world where a lot of what we consume is genetically modified. Is there any correlation from your studies or findings where, you know, the hormones in the food could be contributing to the imbalance in hormones in all of us, not just those with PCOS, or is there an increase in the risk of certain hormone abnormalities based on our consumption?
Okay, in terms of food, I wouldn't necessarily say it is a cause per se. Yes, we have a lot of hormones in our foods, but PCOS is not a new thing. So even though we're hearing so much more about it because there's more research, a lot of the persons with PCOS, their mother, their aunt, their grandmother, sisters may have PCOS even though they ate different foods, right?
Are you born with PCOS or does it develop?
It is a chronic condition, but I would not say you are born with it. You have genetics that increase your risk of developing the PCOS, but there have to be a lot of things going on in terms of your environment, you know, all these things that would cause you to have PCOS. So the thing I would like to leave with is just say that PCOS is not any one person's fault. They didn't eat something, they didn't do something that allowed them to have PCOS. It isn't their fault, and they should give themselves grace by, you know, trying to find a team of your gynecologist, nutritionist, and such to ensure that you can manage it as your years continue.
Olivia, what I love that you've done is you've created a space where all of you can come together, those of you experiencing PCOS. Talk us through the space that you've created and what you have coming up.
Okay, so PCOS Talk came out during the pandemic when we were online.
Yeah.
And so we would get online with like Dr. Kim and a few of my other friends, and we would talk about, some of the symptoms that we were having. So what I realized was that people felt very alone when you have PCOS, even though it's such a common thing. So I wanted to create a space where we could come and share, because I find I learn the most from other people who have PCOS.
Yeah.
And so PCOS Talk basically is an opportunity for us to share with each other about the condition, to, share space with each other. And what I find is a lot of people say, with speaking with you or other people in the community, that is what has helped me to better manage, even just living with a condition like PCOS.
Because also, sometimes you wonder if you're crazy. You wonder if you are coming up with these things yourself, and maybe it's just
talking about
correct.
it. We don't know. You just think you're the only one, or whatever. So let me ask this. I'm a young girl, I'm in high school, or a young adult in my 20s, and I kind of feel something, I might be PCOS. What are some things that you say, if you are experiencing this, and this, go and check this out? What are those things, Doc?
So I would say the first thing, most common symptom, if you're not having a period every single month, something is wrong.
Okay.
In a woman, a period is a vital sign. Think about it like that. So if you're having irregular periods, you're having prolonged periods, bleeding for 2 to 3 weeks at a time, when the period does come, something is wrong. Seek medical attention. If you notice that you are putting on weight out of nowhere, seek medical, and it's hard to come off as well, seek medical attention. And then, of course, if you find that you're developing hair in areas where women don't usually have the hair, the heavy mustaches, the beards, the hair on the chest, then also seek attention. Those are the most common symptoms that we see. And the thing about it is that PCOS has long-term effects, not just what you're seeing now. So a lot of persons don't seek medical attention, because I've heard people say, boy, the period painful, I don't like it anyway, so I don't mind that I'm not seeing a period. So they don't go to the doctor, or they only go when they want to get pregnant. But that not seeing a period over long periods of time can actually cause many problems. It can cause diabetes, hypertension, high cholesterol, heart disease, and it can even cause cancer of the uterus. Wow. So it's extremely important to take PCOS and those symptoms that you're experiencing seriously and get medical assistance and start treatment early.
I did not know half of these things.
There's a point a while ago where I almost forgot that we were on air, because I was leaning right in. I'm just like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I had no clue. And we're women.
I know. So, Olivia, let me ask you this. Somebody has found out, okay, my gosh, I have PCOS. I feel, you had it, you have it, you've experienced with it. What would you say to that person in terms of just managing it, living with it? What should they do?
The first thing I would say is that it is extremely scary, but it's not a death sentence.
Yeah.
A lot of times when you get diagnoses like these, one of the first things you hear or you look up is that, oh, you can't have a baby, or, oh, you can't do this. For a lot of people with PCOS, they go on to have healthy pregnancies. It might be more difficult for persons with PCOS, but it's not impossible. And it's a lot more common than you think. Like, a lot of people that you see around you, you end up realizing that, oh, this person has PCOS too, when you get to learn a lot of the things. And so there is a very large community of persons with PCOS, and I would just want anybody with PCOS to know that, you're not alone.
Yeah. Tell us about your event.
So on Sunday the 29th of September, our support group is meeting at Hope Gardens. We're just gonna grab our blankets, our snacks, and we're gonna meet in Hope Gardens. And we're just gonna chill, we're gonna relax, we're gonna talk about PCOS. So we're just gonna get together so that, people who might not have a community of persons with PCOS can get to meet other people with PCOS. We're gonna start at 2 p.m. and we're going till Hope Gardens kicks us out.
I love
I'm going to tell you a secret spot in the gardens that you can actually stay once a night for.
Good to know.
And wear teal. Wear teal. Teal is the color,
Wear
right?
teal.
Hence, we all have on our
This
teal
is teal,
ribbons.
everyone. This is teal. I love that. Thanks so much, ladies. That was so informative, so helpful.
Seriously informative.
Really appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you for having us.
All right. Our guests have been Dr. Kimberly Somerville, health coach and nutritionist, Dr. Astrid Batchelor, obstetrician and gynecologist, and Olivia Marie, founder of PCOS Talk JA. When we return, TK,
That's me.
will be here with all the news. Please stay with us. Much more on Sunrise.
Teach you I can love.